The reason why you are still small and can't put on any muscle no matter how hard you try is because you keep making these 3 mistakes. Now, if you're someone that wants to finally build that superhero physique and look jack when you take your shirt off, watch this video to the end to find out how you can go from skinny to jack. Now, I've been training in the gym for about 5 years now. I started back when I was about 18 years old training seriously. And in that span of time, I managed to take my physique from this to this today. Now, obviously along the way, it wasn't always smooth sailing. I struggled for years to put on muscle. I struggled for years to lose body fat, and I struggled for years to develop the right mindset that I needed. And through my personal experience and struggle, it's become very obvious to me now, looking back, what I did wrong and what other people do wrong. So these are the 3 common mistakes that most people make that are preventing them from growing muscle on the bulk. Mistake number 1, not tracking your calories. Now, for years, I thought tracking calories was something that those fitness nerds do, that those people that go for runs and want to get in shape do, not something that bodybuilders do. Well, come to find out, I was actually completely wrong, mate. So for years, I spent just eating what I thought was a lot of food, and it turned out, as it always turns out, that I was eating almost nothing. I think when I finally tracked it out, I was eating about 2,500 calories, and I thought in my mind that I was eating enough to grow muscle. And I started doubting myself when I hadn't put on weight in weeks and weeks, and I came to find out, well, yeah, that's probably why. The most objective way to guarantee that you start gaining weight and start putting on muscle is to start tracking your calories. And it's so easy to do nowadays. There are fitness apps that literally allow you to scan the food item and put it straight onto the app to calculate all the calories and all the macros. So all you need to do is figure out how many calories you need to eat to bulk up. Well, wait a minute, how do I do that? Don't worry, don't stress, I'll tell you right now. What you need to do is find your maintenance calories. Now, there are a few websites out there that'll give you an estimation of what it is, but the only real way you're gonna find out is if you start eating at a certain level of calories and monitor how your body responds. If your body doesn't fluctuate in weight at all and just maintains the same weight, that's your maintenance calories. If your body increases, you know you're in a surplus and you need to dial down slightly. If your body loses weight, you know you're in a deficit. You need to raise it slightly. After a couple of weeks of adjusting and monitoring, you'll come to find out your maintenance calories pretty accurately. From there, what you want to do is put yourself into a caloric surplus. I personally recommend starting slow, starting with just a 200 calorie surplus on your maintenance. Because you got to think about the bigger picture here. Majority of the time, if you're someone that is looking to bulk, you're probably someone very skinny. You gotta think on the longer scope of things. If we're looking to bulk for 12 to 16, maybe even 20 weeks, we need to have room to slowly increase those calories. And I have the philosophy that we should not be getting that fat on the bulk. So of course we're gonna get fat, it's gonna happen. We shouldn't be doing it deliberately and putting ourselves in a position so worse off when we wanna come back down. Think about your future self. Don't absolutely go crazy and dirty bulk. Relax, do a calculated, slow and steady. I think a 200 calorie increase every couple of weeks, after 10 to 12 weeks, you're gonna put on a substantial amount of weight, and there's no doubt about that. But going about it in a more clean, specific and measured way is the best way to ensure we're gaining muscle and not just getting fat. Mistake number 2, taking the dirty bulk approach. Now, we've all done this at least once, and that's doing a dirty bulk. We're just eating Maccas, we're eating muffins, cupcakes, whatever we can get our hands on so we can increase that weight on the scale. But what we're failing to realize here is we're actually building up habits that are bad, and the weight we're putting on is not necessarily muscle. It could just be literally you getting fat. So I'd absolutely recommend you stop with the dirty bulk and start actually eating some real meals and real food. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit tougher to get your calories in, and that doesn't mean that you can't have certain things to increase your calories quickly. For example, I've done bulks before where I had a pre-workout muffin on certain days where I wanted a bit more of an energy boost. And there's nothing wrong with that. Once or twice a week, I didn't get fat and I put on a good amount of muscle mass. All I'm saying, you shouldn't be relying solely on bad and unhealthy foods to put on your massive weight. You're just gonna put yourself into a bad position health-wise, and it is definitely far from optimal in terms of muscle gain. Of course, if you just wanna get the weight scale to increase, it's a different story. But no one just wants a number to increase. We actually wanna see results coincide with that number increase. So if you're someone who wants to put on actual muscle, instead of just looking at a number and hoping it goes up, ditch the dirty bulk. Number 3, bulking when you're already fat. Now this might touch a few nerves, but I'm just telling you the truth, guys. If you're fat, if you're someone that has a bit of excess body weight, you do not need to be bulking. All you're gonna do is get fatter, the muscle gain is gonna be minimal, and that's because your body is not primed for muscle gain. That the body performs and operates better at a leaner body weight. So if you're someone that does have a bit of excess fat, please cut first. Get rid of the excess fat, get down to a nice foundation so that you're able to bulk and stay as lean as possible for as long as possible. All you're gonna do if you're already fat and start bulking, you're gonna take your already slow metabolism, pump it full of food, and that weight is definitely gonna increase, but not in the way you would imagine. The only thing you're gonna be building is love handles, not muscle. Please be honest with yourself, get yourself in the correct position to bulk efficiently. Once you get to that point, your body will be extremely sensitive to food, and from there, you slowly titrate your calories up, and that's where you're gonna see the most gains, because your body's gonna be healthy, it's gonna be extremely sensitive to food, your glycogen sensitivity is gonna be extremely high, your body's gonna be operating at a high level, you're gonna be getting good rest, have good energy, just overall a better experience to bulk from a leaner position than it is to bulk as a fat person. And that is the honest truth, and I can tell you that from experience. I've done bulks from a position of high body fat because I saw some bodybuilders smashing down like 8,000 calories and I thought, yes mate, that's what I gotta do. Obviously, they're doing things that allow them to do that, and more than likely, you're not doing things that would allow you to do the same. So please, be as objective as possible. I know everyone loves food and just wants to eat and lift heavy weights. But if you actually want to get in crazy shape, put on some actual real muscle, you need to do so from a good foundation. And 20% body fat is a horrible foundation to start from. Anyway guys, those are the 3 common mistakes that I always find people making when they are trying to bulk and put on muscle. Now you know what the mistakes are, and you know exactly how to avoid it and overcome it. So take that information, start your next bulk with that in mind, and I promise you will see more gains because of it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.